Stadium, where a couple of moments ago the Georgia Bulldogs arrived here to get ready to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks in a top 10 matchup. We'll show you that dog walk here in just a moment. It's an incredible scene, as you might imagine, early morning. It was a great spot a moment ago when I was coming towards the Tate Center parking lot where the dog walk takes place. You could hear the echoes of College Game Day. You could hear the UGA Redcoat band warming up, and then also rock music blaring from tailgates, and it kind of all mixed together in kind of a nice medley almost. And boy, when you're walking through campus today, you really get the sense that this sounds like college football. It feels like college football. It is a marquee home game for the Georgia Bulldogs. Even if it's a noon start, you don't see much in the way of any kind of dampening of spirits because of that. This campus has been packed and tailgates have been rocking and rolling, and everybody's caffeined up or whatever they need to do to get fueled up. Everybody is ready, I think, to answer Kirby Smart's challenge to be an elite crowd inside the stadium today and make things tough on the Arkansas Razorbacks and put on a great show in front of a national television audience. Obviously rolling from College Game Day into the game itself there on ESPN with Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit broadcasting the game. That creates a great commercial opportunity for Georgia to advertise what it has going on as a program. I think the Georgia players, coaches, the athletic department, the fans themselves, the boosters, I think everybody's taking that pretty seriously. Something else, though, here as a part of our Kroger Kickoff that clearly dog fans are taking pretty seriously as well is the current status of JT Daniels. And I want to walk back over the course of the last couple of days here, and then I'll actually show you Daniels coming into the stadium a moment ago, and you can see what you can glean from that as he and Stetson Bennett walk side by side there. But you will remember that on Wednesday, Kirby Smart, during the SEC coaches teleconference, revealed that the oblique, as Kirby was asked about for JT Daniels, was fine, but revealed that he had something of a lat injury, the latissimus dorsi, region when it comes to that muscle. And to credit Mike Griffith, DogNation.com, he is really out in front on this story, really digging deep on that and suggesting there was reason for caution. The honest truth is, when I heard Kirby Smart volunteer that information, I guess I probably rolled my eyes a little bit and assumed that if Kirby's talking about this, if he's this forthright and this honest, there's no way we should take this at face value, because that's just not typically what Kirby Smart does. This is undeniably unorthodox handling of this situation by Smart, who, as a lot of coaches do, works very hard, typically speaking, to conceal any kind of injury whatsoever. Think back to Tyke Smith and Darnell Washington a few weeks ago and what this program went through to make it seem like those players were only day-to-day when the common reporting suggested they'd be out several weeks, which turned out to be true. In the case of Daniels, on Wednesday, Smart volunteered information that really wasn't necessarily required there. And I think different people had a different interpretation of that, but according to the folks that I've talked to over the course of the last 24 hours, some with knowledge of Georgia practice this week, that Daniels maybe has been a little bit limited to a certain degree. There's also seemingly some dispute about how much he has been limited at practice this week, but maybe not 100% full go. Maybe not, out there as the sole quarterback working with the number one offense, at least as according to what I've maybe been told here over the course of the last 24 hours. It sets up a mysterious situation for today. You'll remember ESPN's Holly Rowe with Game Day in the building for this morning. A lot of those ESPN personalities met with some reporters outside the Game Day set on Friday. Rowe letting it be known that it's a game-time decision for JT Daniels here today. Speaking of Mike Griffith, who I mentioned a moment ago, I'll also invite you to check out the piece he's got up at DogNation.com right now, where he talks about some reasons why Smart may have been more forthcoming about this Daniels injury, to the extent that it exists, maybe than he has been in the past, about exactly why Smart may have gone about his business in this regard in such a different fashion than he would maybe go through some of these other situations in the past. That's pretty good stuff from Mike Griffith at DogNation.com right now. So to kind of recap all of this, it seems like the lat injury that Smart addressed on Wednesday has turned out to actually be real and true. What's not clear, though, is whether that means that Daniels won't start, won't play at all, whether he'll be sharing time with the presumed backup and starter taking his place if and when Daniels can't go, Stetson Bennett. All of that still be determined. As commonly thrown around in football, this does truly appear to be a game-time decision, and it's one of those things that maybe folks have to tune in at noon Eastern time today to find out exactly what's going on here. But it is clearly the big story as you go into the game. And it's not because Georgia can't win the game without Daniels. I think most Georgia fans would assume that Stetson Bennett beat Arkansas last year on the road. He can beat them here in Athens on this particular Saturday there as well. So that's not necessarily the kind of thing that holds you back here. but it is the kind of thing, if you want to make that championship run, obviously a healthy JT Daniels is crucial for that. And right now, we just simply don't know how healthy JT Daniels is going into this game today against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Let me remind you, this is our Kroger Kickoff. We're out here live just outside Sanford Stadium. Dog walk taking place a moment ago. I will show you that here in just a minute. Give you some chance to weigh in with your comments there as well. Big thanks to Kroger for making all this possible. Obviously, they're well stocked right now as you get ready for Halloween. My family, this is a great tradition for us to go there, get the shopping carts, load up on all the candy and all the decor and everything else we need. They've also got big savings right now as well. You can save as much as 30% on some of your Halloween stuff right now. So check out Kroger.com/Halloween for a lot more on that. Kroger.com/Halloween. Okay, without further ado, let me give you a chance to see the dog walk from a moment ago as it comes by on your screen here. You will see eventually the two quarterbacks for Georgia side by side, Stetson Bennett, JT Daniels, potentially both the men of the hour. Daniels, will he play? Bennett, will he earn the start? A lot of mystery surrounding that right now. You'll see these guys walking by along with the rest of the Georgia team here as a part of a dog walk. Huge crowd on hand for this as well. Really fun to see this a moment ago. How many folks were gathered, ready to congratulate and greet Georgia as they showed up for what is really the biggest SEC game of the season thus far for UGA. One of the biggest home games in terms of the crowd and everything else we've had in quite some time, given the pandemic from a year ago. So we'll take some of your comments here on Facebook to begin with, and then we'll roll through the rest of this. Jacoba Simba checks in to say, I wonder if the families, so Jacoba checking in here there. Christopher Moore says, we beat them on the road last year, but this isn't the same Arkansas team from last year. They're better, just like we are. And yeah, it certainly seemed that both these programs have improved. Both these teams have improved year over year. And what does that make in terms of a conflict for today's game? I think that's a fair question to be wondering about right now. T.R. Duffy checks in with a Go Dogs. Talmadge Stovall says, I think our defense is going to eat pork chops all day long today. So you love to hear Talmadge checking in on that. Donna Leyden, I should say, says JT Daniels got her stomach in knots. Obviously his status a big question for a lot of folks right now watching to see how this plays out. Ryan Patrick Presley Gamble checks in to say our secondary needs to step up as they have a beast of a receiver. Also, he wants to see Zamir White get more carries too. So it'll be a big day potentially for that Georgia running game. Regardless of which quarterback we see play or which quarterback we see play the most, it'll be a day in which Georgia hopes to establish its running game. Probably something over the course of the season's first 4 games that it has not done to the extent that we're used to seeing Georgia be able to do that. So I think those are good points all the way around. Over here on YouTube here for a moment, if my internet will cooperate and give me a chance to get on this. Let's see if it will. Here we go. On YouTube for a moment, a chance to take some comments over here. Green Soldier checking in. Michael Porter shows up to challenge Georgia to hunker down here today. Clearly, that's something you want to see as the dog walk continues to scroll by there on your screen, or at least I think it does. Y'all can see that, I actually can. Thomas T-Bone also want to know about the status of JT Daniels, as we addressed off the top of this show, and will be addressed throughout the day here at Dog Nation. The status for Daniels truly remains unknown, and I know, game time decision can feel a little bit like a cliche, but certainly when you listen to folks closely here over the course of the last 24 hours, as more of this comes into focus, you realize that, that really actually probably is the right way to describe this right now. Andrew Hughes, great to see you checking in. Prince Kale checking in with the Go Dogs. Tywan Taylor, great to see you there as well. Georgia Pyro Dog says, in Daniels and that defense we trust, Go Dogs. Make the statement letting the nation know just how real we are. And with game day here, with the ESPN 12 o'clock start, that's obviously a big opportunity for Georgia here today. Terrific comments as the dog walk rolls by, as the Georgia fans get settled in. Let me recap what we know, and we'll get ready to say goodbye to you here for right now. So the Daniels status unknown for the moment. The Mike Griffith report going back to Wednesday seems like something you should go back and revisit what Mike initially said about that. Holly Rowe yesterday, along with Chris Fowler, who I believe made an appearance on the Paul Feinbaum show, kind of echoing some of that we may be looking at a game time type decision for Daniels here today. Obviously, this is a tough opponent. Arkansas is a big game. If Daniels can go, he wants to. If he is healthy, clearly that's the quarterback that Georgia wants playing in this spot. No one questions that. I guess it comes down to, and I don't want to speculate about medical stuff too much, but I guess it just kind of comes down to that pain tolerance and how comfortably Daniels can throw with what he's dealing with. Originally an oblique, I guess now being described as a lat. How comfortably does that allow Daniels to deliver the football here today, all the throws you need to make to win a game like this. And as a healthier Stetson Bennett, a better option because of what Daniel's health status ends up being. That's what we're watching closely. I'll be inside the stadium on the field in a moment. I'll try to give you eyes on whatever is seen in those pregame warm-ups. So let me get ready to go do that for right now. We appreciate you being here as a part of our Kroger Kickoff today. I'll also see you back after the game as a part of the Dog Nation post-game show from the UGA bookstore. We'll react to whatever happens between the Dogs and the Hogs as Georgia tries to earn itself somehow, some way, with whichever healthy players are available, a big SEC win. So we'll see you after the game for the Dog Nation post-game show for that at the UGA bookstore, presented by the UGA bookstore. Hope you enjoy this noon start today, wherever you are, in the stadium, on your couch, wherever. Be elite. Be what Kirby Smart challenged you to be. Bring some positive vibes and some good energy coming the direction of UGA here today. Thanks for being here for our Kroger Kickoff. We'll see you again next time.